Cricket is a religion in Sri Lanka. The World T20 World Cup, which just ended a few weeks ago, Sri Lanka lost out. Was out on the first round itself. Where does cricket really stand in the country? Where does politics stand in the country? I have with me an individual who is very versatile with cricket and with politics. He is none other than the Deputy Speaker of the Sri Lankan Parliament, also the Chairman of Sri Lanka Cricket. A very good morning to you and welcome to Newsfirst in Focus, Mr. Sumantipal. Nice to have you on board.
Good morning, Samir. Good to have you.
Starting off, tell us a little bit about your role as a Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
Well, when we have decided soon after the general election to form a government of national interest, which is call it national government. So major two parties, which is UPFA and the UNP, got together. UNP had 106 members in representation, and SLFP UPFA 95 member representation. So almost 201 members of two major parties got together. At that point of time, it was decided that the Speaker should be nominated by the UNP and the UPFA to nominate a Deputy Speaker. So at that time, His Excellency President, our party leader, nominated my name and requested me to take this responsible job. Due to the fact that mainly we are focusing towards transformation into bringing some independent commissions and then constitutional changes, as well as empowering more responsibilities to the members of the parliament, oversight committees and so forth. So me representing 95 member UPFA as the representative leading as the Deputy Speaker, my role is coming in mainly to make sure constitutional part, the changes, as well as the anticipated reforms to give the lead from the Parliament point of view.
Is it safe for me to say, Mr. Sumantipal, that the UPFA is split at the moment?
Of course it is. Because,
and why is this?
Well, I mean, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, he decided to go for an election 2 years ahead of his time, and at that time he was confident, he was the most popular at that time. He decided on his own. Of course, party was informed, went through with the election, he lost. Soon after his defeat, he has agreed to hand over the power of the party leadership to his opponent who won, defeating him as the general secretary of the party, to lead the party as the head of the party. So with this change of events, some have come to terms with the current leader, who is the president of the country. Some can't come to terms with him as the leader.
You said that the United People's Freedom Alliance is split. Do you in any way believe that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party is also split? Ideology-wise,
the SLFP is base. We have our principles, we have our policies, we continue to do so. What people can't come to terms is this economic policy of UNP-led government. The UPFA is not interfering too much. That we have to understand. The purpose of UPFA got together with the UNP is for a major transformation, and that is for a national interest, constitutional matters, because we are a country, we experienced more than 30 years ago. We all know, we had a 13th amendment coming into place during former President J. Jayawardena's time for a purpose and a reason. So we can't ignore the fact just because the war is over, there is no problem in the country. So we have to address our major issues. And if you say we never had problems, we never had any issues, this is because terrorists, you can't resolve that. Similarly, when we are looking at 1971 incident, we can't say there was no uprising, there was no kind of a youngsters, youth were feeling sidelined. There were issues. That's why we have formulated various other programs to avoid it. Similarly, when we are focusing on the national interest issues, whether it's UNP or UPFA, we have to look at that first. So President's pledge to this country was that as number one priority. Then number two is our individual party politics, party ideology, party policy principles. So UMP has their own way of looking at it, SLP has their own way of looking at it. But while the SLPs are genuinely focused towards their principles, that correlation between UMP and SLP cannot be accepted by most of the SLP. That is something.
Can you accept it?
My priority at the moment is for the national interest. It is a very good thing to have a coalition government at this moment of time. Let us focus 100% on it. Let us make the reforms. Let us make these changes which is need for the country, need for the constitution, need for the people. Then we can all go on our way and do whatever we like subsequently. But if you miss this opportunity, you will never get it back.
Mr. Masal, you said something
what
very
I'm trying to say here is, because of the affiliation people have had with former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, they can't come to terms with this ground reality and the national interest. So the people who knows how to play into that, those are small groups of political parties, so-called parties, they are movements. They are playing it very cleverly to make sure there is a split in the party. So if the small party is, because they have no survival without they are going to hang on to Mahinda Rajapaksa, his popularity and his stature.
Mr. Diyal, you said something very interesting. You said that just because the war has been ended, you cannot say that all problems are solved. Is there a threat to national security?
No, I don't think during our time of life there will be anybody going to take weapons and going to have an armed struggle. Armed struggle is a different way of fighting for their cause. And then there will be political parties, there will be more political parties who want to come and believe in whatever they want to, and then to come before people and get elected. Something which we all must encourage. We must have people's representation in Northern Territory. We must have people's representation more wider, representation of North and East. Because during the war, there were groups of people supportive of LTT ideology. There were people opposing LTT ideology. That is what happened to North and East. For or against. Now the war is over. LTT is no longer, who've been fighting with their arms. Now if it is democratically elected people, what we are looking at, for them to represent the people in their areas and local area of North and East especially. Now we have to understand where it has gone wrong, if at all, where we can improve, how we can approach. This particular approach, now if you don't take priority on that, what can happen like what is happening in South? There are mediocre average movements, so-called political parties can do the same thing in North and East. So therefore core value, main areas can be sidelined. So we have major issues with regard to housing, sanitary, water and various issues like that. Then the farmers need their water to do their cultivation, education, health. Those are things which has got totally not invested properly for all.
Do you agree that the people of the Northern East have been ignored and they are the forgotten people of Sri Lanka?
No, I don't agree with that. I don't. That is forgotten. They had to go through hardship because of the war. Not only North and East.
But the war ended in the year 2009, Mr. Madhipal, and now it's nearly 7 years following the end of the conflict, and nothing concrete has been taken in the North and East with regard to these people.
No, you can't say that, because if you look at you go to Ampara, you go to Monaragala, you go to even certain areas of Hambantota. Even though we had our president from Hambantota, they don't have decent water most of the time, most part of the year.
Whose fault is that?
You see, there are things like we have a drought in some part of the country, certain time of the year. We have to make some major changes into our the water supply, irrigation system. So these are national concerns. Electricity is a national concern, water supply is a national concern, housing is a national concern.
But these people have been ignored by respective governments, in particular the last 10 years.
I don't think so. I don't want to take the word called ignore, because they have to go through hardship.
What is it called then?
You see, when there is a war, when the arms, when a terrorist group of people take arms and control the area where you live, you have no choice.
You are a businessman as well by profession, Mr. Madhipal. How long does it take to build a house?
Well, it's
Not 7 years for sure.
no, but I don't think we had adequate funding. Do everything under one roof. We look at the positive side. There was an election. There was a chief minister elected, appointed by their own people of the area. In 2010, look at it. 11 to look at it. After the new chief minister came in, first year of his office, only 39% was spent out of his budget. Second year, 43%. Third year, under 70% of the budgetary allocation to the chief minister and the province has been invested for the people.
Mr. Madhipala, but the people can't eat or drink politics.
No.
They want livelihood. They want
Yeah,
their
but-
basic sanitation facilities.
Precisely. Then that is the responsibility of the people's representative. The people's
Not the national government.
The government has a role to play. That is why they have allocated money. That is why they have looked at the national projects. That is why the highways are being done. That's why the A9 being restructured. That's why the bridges are being restructured. That is why the major electricity is going to northern area. There's almost 85% of northern territory has got the main supply of electricity. So if we have to look at this into three different areas, hardline, main, infrastructure, then day-to-day living of their life, their livelihood in the sense the basic of their schooling, in day-to-day life. Then other thing is the long-term, the development of the territory, area, entire country. So if you take country as a one territorial unitary state, then we have to look at the spread of development equally to all the 22 districts. So if you look at that, I don't think we have ignored. We can't say we have ignored. We have been fair for each and every.
What is it called then, Mrs. Madhipala?
I mean, it is a war-torn
You have
area.
the highways. You have the highways. You go on the highways, stop your vehicle, walk 100 meters or 200 meters inland, and then you can see poverty in Sri Lanka.
You
You
come-
go on the Kotnaik highway, you see boards that have been erected, walls that have been erected on either side of the highway, and when you really look at it, those are shanties.
You come with me now, we'll go 5 minutes from here, drive, go to Anathamulla. We have 54,000 houses in Colombo city, capital of Sri Lanka. 54,000 people living in 10 by 15 small room with takaran shed. And what do they have? They go to public toilet, go to public water.
That is the point.
Yeah, so that is not,
Mrs.
that
Madhipala.
is exactly what I'm saying. Can you say that is ignored? Can you say that is because of poverty, because this is a problem not only to north, it's a problem island-wide. We have been a poor country. We managed because the war is over now, transform into middle income. Then we are looking at the next phase as a developed country.
You just said that Sri Lanka is deemed as a poor country. However, when you look at the Global Financial Integrity Report, which was out a few months ago, which clearly indicates that over the last 10 years, ending 2013, over 2.88 trillion Sri Lankan rupees have been swindled out of the country. Are we really poor, Mrs. Madhipala?
Well, that is something which alarming. If some people have taken money out of good, hard-earned money of the people, taxpayers' money or whatever, or maybe grants, maybe loans, whichever had come in, if people have taken money by way of various means, commission or whatever, that is something which is not acceptable.
You were part of the Mahinda Rajapaksa administration, worked very closely with the former president as well. What is your take? Do you think corruption really took place during the Rajapaksa regime?
I don't know the quantity or the quantum at this moment of time. I think biggest mistake was where there was a small group of people taking every decision. I don't think.
Were you a victim?
I was not involved with him with any business discussions or anything like that. But for development, I found there were few full of people were taking decision. If you are not close to them or if you don't have the sanction or approval from them, nothing could be done in this country at that time.
Sri
Political
Lanka
part.
cricket, wasn't it a mess or is it still in a mess?
It was in a mess when I came in. That's why people wanted me to come back and take the challenge, which I am very focused at the moment. I think I can't find anything that is going right at the moment.
It's still at a mess.
Well, we are clearing one by one. When I walked in January, there was no national coach. We put the head of coaching man as the coaching of the national team. There was no proper a feeder to the national team. There was no under-19 provincial tournament. There was no A-team structured program, home and away. I mean, tell me anything that cricket board had right when we came in Germany. Nothing was right.
I'm not going to say, Mr. Smith-Pala, that Rome was built in a day and you don't need really time to revive the cricket board. However, what I'm going to say to you right now is the fact that you changed the selection committee just a week prior to the T20 World Cup. What were you really thinking at that time?
We had a meeting. We have taken a policy decision. We have taken a directive which way to go for the World Cup. As soon as we came in, we thought it's better to have one captain for the T20, 50 overs and ODI. At that time, we were looking at Angelo Matthews as the right man to lead all three forms. So we discussed with the selectors, and they said no, Malinga should be captain in T20. So we said okay. Then until the World Cup is over, we'll appoint Malinga as the captain. His successor going to be Angelo. His successor will be Chandimal. So we had a succession program plan.
In just 2 weeks, you all made a succession program.
Agreement in principle. If something happens, injury, we takes it over. Because when we came into the board, I found Malinga is captain in T20, Angelo is captaining ODI and Test. Vice captain of the Test is the spinner Herath, Rangan Herath. T20 vice captain was Thiriman, and ODI vice captain was Chandimal. How on earth can you build a team? You have 2 captains, 3 vice captains, and it is impossible. You are only dividing them, putting them against each other and messing it up. So that was not acceptable at all. So we started from there. We told them. Then we had our 3 matches in India. Then we went to Asia Cup. Injuries were there. We were still trying to keep. We only wanted at least one match to be played by Malinga during the World Cup. We knew if you get through to one game at the first time, we would have been in semi-finals. So we were making every effort to keep him going, thinking he'll play just one match for the country.
But he did not.
He was not available. He said he's not fit, so we have to go by what the player says. So we had done everything possible to keep him going. That's one side of the story.
And then the player resigned.
Coming into your question of last minute. So I was with the team at the Asia Cup. We had a discussion. We have looked at it. Malinga has declared himself not available. So I had a meeting with my head coach, Graham Ford. We discussed. So I sent a message to mail it to Chairman selection. Said sit down with the national coach. Get his composition. How many fast bowlers? How many spinners? How many leg spinners? What would be the ideal composition for the World Cup? Talk to the national coach. Then you appoint the captain first. Sit down with the captain and select the rest of the team. That's how you go. I was on my way from the finals. I had to, as the president of the Asian Cricket Council, I had to finish my Asia Cup finals. That was my obligation. Selectors have met. They sat together, asked Graham Ford, thank you very much, you go. Call Malinga. Are you fit? No, I'm not fit. Okay, go. Sacked Malinga. You don't need to be in the World Cup. Removed him. Then we think Chandimal is the best captain. Appointed Chandimal over and above Angelo Matthews as the captain. What do you think? It would have happened to the team. You think that would have been a good decision? We said don't do that. Selectors refused to change. So we went before the minister. Said we are calling for emergency meeting. This is what our belief. We want new selectors. Aravinda came in to help us out. Sangakkara came in. They said best thing to do right now is appoint Angelo Matthews as the captain. Get Chandimal. Chandimal said, I would like to play under Angelo Matthews. I have no problem. So we put them together again, like 2 brothers. Angelo 1, Chandimal 2, captain and vice captain. Because I strongly believe in one thing. You look at our successful time. It was Julip, Roy, Arjuna, Aravinda. Then comes Sangha, Mahela. Before that, Marwan, Sanat. There are pairs which builds together good teams. So we strongly believe Matthews and Chandimal can make a beautiful pair.
You have a very good plan in mind. Obviously, the way that you articulate it seems like a very good plan. However, we lost the World Cup.
No, that's that. You see, we win some, we lose some. But by the time we came in, the damage is done.
There was no unity within the team as well, which was very evident.
No, you can't say the team. Team was helpless. But the build up to the team, build up to the World Cup, build up to the squad was all divided. So nothing else could have happened other than dividing them. You see.
Nothing else could have happened other than losing the game. That's what you're trying to say?
No, no. When you have an approach unprofessionally, without a proper game plan, obviously you end up, because others are not going to sit and wait. We are up against the world top 10 teams. You think just because we are having weak approach, they are going to sit and they will play into that. They will exploit our weakness. So there are so many things which have not gone right for the sake of the national team. The fielding coach, fielding positioning, batting lineup, certain players were removed. I think 37 now. Altogether 24 players were tried and tested in the year 2015. So no player had any confidence that he is number 4, number 5, number 6. He is always playing for his place. Because if he doesn't get his 20 or 30, he is not too sure of the next game. So when you take that confidence away, then it reflects from the game. Because the boy is not, he can get a first ball, he can get a bad decision, he can get out. But he is so good, that's why we are putting him to there.
Now you said Lasith Maling was sacked by the selectors.
Yeah.
Is he going to play for the country in the future?
Well, he has not declared himself fit yet. We have referred him to, ask him to be announcing his clearance of his fitness. The moment he says he's taking some single Sri Lankan Ayurvedic treatment, once he clears it up, we are putting him before our doctor's panel. Then we will see how soon he can get back.
Will you be surprised if he plays the IPL?
No, he can't play IPL without the clearance from Sri Lanka.
So you're very firm on this decision?
I won't refer him to my panel of doctors, medical board. Once he clears it, we know how far he will be recovering, how long he will take to recover, or he is fit to go and play now. Based on the medical report, we will take it.
Your appointment as the chairman of Sri Lanka Cricket came under much controversy, Mr. Sumitipalli. You know that you were even referred to the ICC. Elected. Now you are elected.
Yes.
And it came under much controversy. However, now you are holding the mantle. What do you have to say to those individuals who criticized you? They were right at one point about you being referred to the ICC, about the disciplinary, about the issues that cropped up, and you do agree as well, and you said that the ICC has cleared you. What do you have to tell them?
I have no time for my critics. They are free to do their criticism. That's their right to do, right to say anything what they have. I have a bigger, major responsibility in my hand. My passion for the game of cricket, my priority 1 is cricket, priority 2 is cricket, priority 3 is cricket as far as my administrative responsibility is concerned from cricket board point of view. So I am only focused on what I should be doing with my committee. I have a fabulous committee and we are all talking all the time, discussing very cleverly. We are articulating our 5-year business plan. We are focused for that. If anybody want to disrupt that, waste my time, I have no time for that. They must have a lot of time to waste there because they have ample time to waste. That's why they are wasting time on me. That's good luck to them.
Is Sri Lanka cricket split right now?
Absolutely no. We are one good family.
We had one of your competitors who were against you at the Sri Lanka Cricket Board election. At a press conference recently organized by the chairman of selectors, Aravind De Silva. Were you aware?
No, that is, you are talking about Arjuna?
Yes, Mr. Aravind.
No, Arjuna only contested me in 2003. He got 7 votes and I had 121 or something. I defeated him long time, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now he couldn't get successful with my vice president. He lost to Mathivanan and Jayantha. So I don't think he has I have any competition, no contest with him. He lost as a vice president, so that shows cricket.
Were you aware that he attended the press conference?
2 things. You have asked the first question, I've answered him first. So cricketing fraternity point of view, Sri Lankan cricket point of view, he's discarded. He has no place in the administration from the cricket members point of view. They don't like him. He must understand that. He is a defeated man. His defeat is handed out as a vice president. What is he talking about? He has no place in the cricket administration. He's been rejected by the membership. he is wasting his time because I don't think he understands what the democracy is all about. Number two, Aravinda and Arjuna played together. Aravinda can go and sit down, and he said he takes the responsibility of the defeat. He's a thorough gent. I mean, he didn't have even 24 hours to look into the team, but he takes the responsibility. Why? For the sake of the team. Don't touch the players. They have done their best. Best may not be good enough, but we are coming back. We are going to bounce back. So that is the spirit of Aravinda. So Aravinda wanted to go there and say what he wants to say. He is not going to be part and parcel of, just because someone else wants to articulate the way he feels is right, Aravinda cannot be turned around like that.
Taking responsibility alone, is that going to be matches for Sri Lanka in the future? Because you have Arvind De Silva saying that he might step down from the post after.
He came only for a small period of time. We invited him, we are appointing him as the consultant or advisor for cricket affairs of Sri Lanka cricket, and he will be going to continuously working as the advisor to the board. There's no doubt about it. We need him. We need Aravinda so badly as a very technically sound, good man. Who was the vice president of the cricket board, elected vice president, respected vice president. Now one day he will be hopefully come back and lead this institute, because that is the kind of respect the membership has.
Mr. Udva, you said that Arvind De Silva came for a short stint. However, you have a 5-year plan. Again, contradicts to what exactly you said earlier. Do you really have a plan?
He came in for the selection. He said he can't make it after 30th of April. With that understanding only, he came in the month of late February, early March.
Short-term plan.
Yeah, for 2 months. Within that 2 months, he is putting everything right, like our electronically, in the sense digital side, the information side, archive, all that is doing it now. So I think he has to continue not only as a selector, we are keeping him as our advisor for the cricket affairs. So on top of that, I think we are looking at the resources globally. I mean, you look at Australia, South Africa, England, all the international other countries, what are they looking at, what the focus they have, why are they doing certain things. So we are going to make sure our support services are up to the world standard.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mithpal, for joining us this morning on Newsfirst in Focus. Pleasure was all mine today.
All the best to you.
Thanks.